finally got my full self-driving beta installed last night, and wouldn't you know it, I am here in a quarantine hotel in Sydney, Australia. Yes, they're still doing that here as of the 25th of October in 2021. But that's not the reason for this video, obviously, because I'm going to be talking about the full self-driving beta and the things that I learned as I install it here from across the ocean. But first, I need to take that nearly 14-hour flight and get back to the United States, and we'll talk about it there. Now that I'm back, we'll talk about a few of the steps involved in getting full self-driving installed on your Tesla. And I'll also talk about a couple of things that actually surprised me. The first and rather obvious step is that you need to have version 3 of the full self-driving hardware on your Tesla, and you must have either purchased or subscribed to FSD. Second is you'll need to make sure that your phone app is running the latest version, which has the new safety score tracking. Elon has stated that those with a perfect score of 100 will be first in line to get the full self-driving beta. Then those with a 99, 98, 97, and so on. I had a 99, so that may be next in line for version 3.0 of the FSD beta. The third step is to actually download the update once it's available. For me, that was 2021.36.5.2. However, at the time of the launch, there was a little snafu, and Elon Musk sent out a tweet that said that there were some issues with 10.3, so they'd be rolling back to 10.2 temporarily. But not long after that, version 10.3.1 became available, and another tweet with an apology from Elon stating that the issue turned out to be the power saving mode interacting with full self-driving. Either way, once I got back, everything that I just mentioned was already rectified, and I was finally ready for my first experience with the full self-driving beta. However, before I move on, I need to point out a couple of things that I didn't expect and actually surprised me. Because I was out on this Sydney trip, my car isn't at home, nor is it even connected to Wi-Fi, yet the software update, or in this case, software updates, went through anyway. And the reason this was a surprise is because usually software updates require that you're connected to Wi-Fi. But this one didn't, which makes me think that not only does Tesla want to be able to push out over-the-air updates to fix any bugs, like they did here, but they also want to be able to uninstall the software just in case someone abuses the terms and conditions of the beta software. The other interesting thing that I discovered was that once the update was completed on my Model Y, the all-important safety score tracking feature literally disappeared from the Tesla app. Now with that said, let's take a look at my very first trip on the full self-driving beta. And my apologies for this overly blown out video, but the camera I used was an Insta360 1X2, which covered all the angles but sacrificed some of the video quality. And also because I have to leave on another Sydney trip in just a couple of days, I stayed in California as opposed to driving back home to Nevada. And to keep it simple for this first drive, I just set the navigation to simply drive me to a shopping center. I also won't bore you with the whole drive, so I'll speed up things along the way where necessary. And aside from full self-driving itself, I am really impressed by the new display and how it depicts everything that the cameras see with amazing detail, and how it switched on its own to the bird's eye view of this particular intersection as I was stopped for a red traffic light. Just before full self-driving was to make a turn into the shopping area, this man decided to walk into the turning lane, and as you can see here, full self-driving did swerve to the left to avoid him, but I also took over just the same. Now once in the parking lot, I tested out a new auto park feature. And where this is different from before is that auto park would only park if there were two cars to actually park in between, whereas now it will park anywhere it sees lines. This feature wasn't the smoothest or the fastest, but it absolutely did the trick, and I expect this will improve over time. Well, that's a brief overview of the process of getting full self-driving on your Tesla, and an equally brief look at my first drive. And of course, I will certainly do more full self-driving videos along the way, and I'm really anxious to check it out on the Las Vegas Boulevard once I'm back home. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please click that like button. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you are alerted to every new video that I do post in the future. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.